Hey guys, welcome back to the Lucy Show. Hope you guys are all doing well. As usual, coming into the stream, please make sure to subscribe if you're not already. This is my second channel where I talk about anything under the sun, any news, TV shows, Netflix, new movies that I've watched, or old TV shows like Grey's Anatomy that I'm currently watching and feel very strongly about. Uh, if you want to support the channel, all you have to do is subscribe, ring that notification bell, destroy the like button, and also check out the links I have down in the description below if you want to get some free stocks or free crypto by signing up and depositing a minimum amount as stated down in the description below like Moo. Okay, so Netflix Persuasion models the exact wrong way to adapt Jane Austen. Okay, so why are we talking about this? Because I've been telling you guys that I've been watching Grey's Anatomy for like the last couple of weeks. I've been addicted. I cannot watch anything else except for Grey's Anatomy. I'm officially on season 4 right now. I spent, yeah, I think it has been less than a month, but feels like I spent a whole month watching Grey's Anatomy every single night. I don't know why, but I don't really watch Netflix shows in the morning. I just don't feel it, or I'm too busy looking at stocks and crypto. But nighttime is like the moment I get off these streams with you guys is the time for me to go and just dive into my Netflix rabbit hole. So I've been watching that and it was so entertaining. Honestly, Grey's Anatomy for season 1 to season I would say 2, and then season 3 got a little bit weird. Season 3, they're like doing spin-offs, I guess. This is so old, by the way, because like Grey's Anatomy came out in 2005, and I know I'm super late to it. But season 3, they started to like introduce these other characters, and then I searched online and realized that they're introducing new characters because they were trying to do like, well, they did many spin-offs. I think there's like at least 3 spin-offs or whatever off of the like popular show Grey's Anatomy. And I just like started to lose interest when they started to talk about these other characters. It just didn't really click with what they were talking about before, but I understand why like TV shows have to do this. They always introduce like this other team. I think like for sure, Criminal Minds did that too. Like they'll just like introduce new characters, get you excited because you have to watch them when you're trying to watch the original characters that you were interested in anyways. So that kind of threw me off. And then the plot got weird because you guys know, for any of you that actually watch Grey's Anatomy, I said that my favorite character at the time when I first started to watch it was George O'Malley, but now I like hate him because he's a traitor. Um, so yeah, I no longer like George O'Malley. I take that back. Going into season 3, I no longer like him. I don't even think I like any of the characters anymore. Like I still enjoy the show, but probably Bailey is my favorite now, and that's about it. Maybe Christina, but probably just Bailey. I think like I don't like any of the characters anymore. They all did really strange stuff. And I don't know if I agree with what the writers decided for some of these characters and their romances. Hi there, Luke's Food and Travel. Welcome. Uh my I have a hot friend in Vegas. Ooh, I didn't know that. Want to introduce me to my hot friend. Nice talking with Lucy by myself. I took care of you guys part, just me now. Okay, love it. Thanks for all the support, Luke. So anyways, I like Dakota Johnson because, well, I didn't really know who she was until 50 Shades of Grey. And I thought she was really, really good in 50 Shades of Grey. So now I always look at her and just think about 50 Shades of Grey. But um, I saw that she was in this new film, Persuasion, and I didn't really know what it was about. So I just like literally clicked into it and I'm like, okay, cool. Looks like Victorian times, like 1800s, whatever. I didn't really know what period it was. Clicked into it, started watching it. It lost my focus multiple times throughout the movie. I found it kind of hard to finish the movie, but I forced myself to finish it just because, unless it's that terrible, and like I was really busy and had to do something else, I could finish it. So I finished the movie. It was definitely something I'm never gonna watch again. I would rate it a 3 out of 10 overall, but there were some parts that I thought was cute, and I'm the type of person where like even if the movie is not the greatest and I give it 3 out of 10 like I did for this Persuasion movie off of Netflix, new film on Netflix, even though it's a 3 out of 10 for me, I think I'm still glad that I watched it just because like whenever I am watching a new piece of artwork, or like even if you're walking by a gallery and you go into a museum and you look at art you can't afford or whatever, I think there's always something you can like take away. And in the moment for me, I thought some lines were pretty sweet. So I still am not regretting watching it. It's okay. Uh, thank you, Luke, for the super chat. Hi there, Six Lens. Um, just you and me. There's apparently 7 other people in here though, but yeah, you're the only person who's really chatting up on the live stream. Hi there, Six Lens. Yes. Did you get the notification slightly later? I feel like I know people tell me that sometimes my videos, like my short videos or videos on the main channel or this channel, they'll like come out and I have people telling me that they don't get notifications until like 3 days later. So I don't know with YouTube, but please don't block me. Yeah. So let's read about what this is. But after I clicked into it, it said that it was based off the book by Jane Austen, and I didn't know that Jane Austen wrote a book called Persuasion because I just know Jane Austen. The only book I've ever read by Jane Austen is Pride and Prejudice, and I actually loved it. And I'm not a person who like loves every single book. It's really hard for me to like focus and finish reading a book. And I thought Pride and Prejudice was great. I don't mind reading it again later on. And I like the movie too, but I will say the book, like reading the book was more enjoyable for me than watching the movie. I read the book first and then watched the movie. And I don't really do that often. So when I was watching this, it was funny because I thought that it was actually a spin-off from Pride and Prejudice because so many parts of it are so similar. But then I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense because it's written by the same author. But I guess she keeps writing, so this storyline to me, even though it's a whole entire different book. So I looked it up afterwards and it says that Persuasion was a book, a novel completed by Jane Austen. It was published on December 20th, 1817, guys. And I'm ashamed, but I thought that Jane Austen was like from the 1900s. Like I didn't know that she was from the 19th century and died like basically in the early 1800s. I kept thinking that she was this writer for some reason. I don't know why, I just made it up in my head and I believed it all this time. I kept thinking that Jane Austen was like, she was like more into the future and then she just wrote about people from the 1800s. She had a great imagination. I didn't know until like literally 2 days ago that like searching this up, I'm like, "Oh, like where is like how old is Jane Austen and like what era was she from?" And it says that she was born in December 16th, 1775 in the United Kingdom, and she died July 18th, 1817. But all of her books apparently are Georgian. So it says on Google, all of Jane Austen's novels are set against the backyard of daily life in English Georgian society at the turn of the 19th century, so all like 1800s. As the name indicates, the Georgian period covers the successive reigns of King George I, George II, George III, and George IV. Again, I'm not so good with all of the kings of the past, but I like Pride and Prejudice, so I always thought like seeing this on Netflix, I was like, ooh, it might be good because I like Pride and Prejudice. But yeah, I didn't like it. It was supposed to be, it says, well, I'll read like this part over, but it says, sadly, especially for fans of the book, the new film badly fails in its quest to turn a social satire into a bubbly, quirky rom-com. So it was like kind of like it felt like I was watching Pride and Prejudice, but with like comedy. And it was a little off at some points, but I thought it was interesting. I've never seen like, I guess, uh Victorian era, or actually I don't even know if this is Victorian era. I don't know. I usually just say Victorian era. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right, but I just mean like when you wear the pretty puffy dresses. Anytime prior to 1850, in my mind is like the pretty dresses time. So I don't know if that's actually right, but let's just say Georgian era. Okay. So I like films from the Georgian era also because I love like the British accents and stuff. And she had to fake a British accent in here because obviously she's not from England or anything like that. But it was different. I will, and also like the fact that I don't know what Jane Austen would think of this if she knew about this, but I've never watched Bridgerton. Okay, hold on. Let me read what this article actually says. So it's on NBC News, and it says it's just probably going to say really bad things about this film, which got 36% on Rotten Tomatoes. Um, hold on. Six Lens says, "Sorry, Lucy, I was looking at Michael Jackson videos." No worries. Okay, serious question. I have to ask, how do you think music would have evolved without legends like Elvis, Beatles, and Michael Jackson? So here's the thing about like how I feel about music. I think without any of those people, music that came afterwards would be different. So I don't want to say that all music sounds the same. That's not what I mean, but I feel like every every artist that comes before one inspires them in some way, shape, or form, even if they don't admit to it. And music evolves through like the previous person. It's kind of like technology, in my opinion. Like you have Elon Musk today, but there wouldn't be Elon Musk and there wouldn't be Tesla if it wasn't for Nikola Tesla. So, and then there's, I'm sure, other scientists that inspire Nikola Tesla and so forth and so forth. So I think every artist, like everything that they do in that current period will inspire someone else to do something similar or evolving from their point in time, because like big artists, I think like Elvis, once everyone sees how famous he is, even if you have your own style of like art, you may not know his sound until you hear it, and that may inspire you to come up with like a different sound. So that's kind of how I feel about food, technology, and music, that you have to have the original ones to evolve from. And yeah, so I think, like, for example, if it wasn't for Madonna, we wouldn't have Britney Spears breaking out. And then if you didn't have like people like Britney Spears, then there wouldn't be like the pop stars of today. Obviously, like way more pop stars back in comparison to like back when Britney Spears was like super famous. There weren't that many female competition. Now there's like so many different young female stars, pop princesses. Now you have like, I guess Ariana Grande is still probably one of the most famous female pop stars right now. Taylor Swift, I think, came before Ariana Grande. But yeah, like you have to have one ahead of the other. And I will say, one that really pops up in my mind is going to be Lady Gaga, because I still remember before Lady Gaga like came onto the music scene, everybody dressed a lot more normal. Like normal for the time before Lady Gaga. I feel like still in my mind, I remember when Lady Gaga did all her like music videos and she had like all the crazy outfits from like Poker Face and stuff. And then you see like Beyonce and like all these other artists and new artists that started to come out change that the way that they like dress for shows and for music videos. I feel like Lady Gaga was really like a revolutionary point in time for music, in my opinion. Tweety Bird inspired Lucy's voice. LOL. I think my voice changes all the time, depending on like what I'm talking about. Or like if I'm filming, if I'm filming by myself and there's people around, I think I'm more quiet and like I'll have a softer tone. Or if I'm just completely by myself versus I'm like talking to you guys, and then I have like a different voice when I talk to my best friends, my family. I have some people have many faces. I guess I have many different voices. Okay, let me go back to reading my NBC article. So it says the most recent Jane Austen revival started in 2020 with dual release of Anya Taylor-Joy's Emma in theaters and Sendition on PBS. But it was Bridgerton that's driven the most recent upswing, which I still have not watched. I know it's like super popular and whatnot. of modernized Regency stories on streaming, which is why it was only faintly surprising when Netflix announced it was releasing a new version of Austen's Persuasion. Sadly, especially for fans of the book, the new film manages to hit every one of Hollywood's Austen adaptation pitfalls in its quest to turn social satire and comedies of manner into bubbly rom coms. Netflix has swerved away from the higher brow fare of its early years, now sinking its budgets into already proven hits and mainstream blockbusters, starring people you already know. However, Austen's last completed work before her death, Persuasion, is relatively unknown outside of her fandom. One would expect the streaming giant to have gone with one of three Austen titles most people have heard of: Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, and yet another Emma. Persuasion stands out as an especially odd choice in this moment, as it is the least likely to lend itself to romantic comedy. Austen's original Anne Elliot is a spinster who years ago was persuaded out of her best chance at happy marriage by family and friends who did not have her interests at heart. It's a story of regret and rediscovery, tinged with horror. When readers meet Anne, she is trapped as the only adult in the family, full of immature narcissists for whom her forever single status is a boon. Wait, hold on. Okay, I'm not gonna. That's just telling you about the story. Let's see why people don't like it. Everything else wrong with the film is a direct result of failing its heroine. The the proudly the proudly stoic Wentworth Cosmo Jarvis comes off as silently wooden in the face of Anne's bouts of personality. Worse, the characters you are supposed to hate, like Anne's sister and father, suddenly don't seem nearly as bad. It doesn't help that Richard E. Grant is so clearly having a ball. Wait, hold on. Okay, so it's just saying like they didn't actually adapt to the book properly. But the most unfortunate outcome here is the way his hapless film will doubtlessly provide more ammunition for those who reject any sort of Austen modernization, like Star Wars and Marvel. The Jane Austen and Regency fandom has a subsection who complain loudly and bitterly anytime something is historically inaccurate or fails to honor the book. This is oftentimes a dog whistle, meaning the adaptation is not lily white. In this case, failing to honor the book has nothing to do with casting or modernizing, but that won't matter to fans endeavoring to use this adaptation and its lackluster reviews to argue against trying anything new at all. Thankfully, the growing body of excellent modernization outweighs Netflix's current failure. Perhaps this movie will even persuade a few viewers to pick up the real thing. It's a good sign where when there are enough racially diverse period pieces that one bad film won't sink the entire premise. Hopefully the swift churn of streaming will soon sweep this mistake along. So I did want to point out, I guess over here it's saying the modernization of like films and books these days, it's definitely different. And I think this part like really stands out for me. Being Asian in this film, you can watch it if you want. I give it still a 3 out of 10, unfortunately, and I'm never going to watch it again, but I finished it. Some parts were just really boring. I didn't focus as hard. But I know for Bridgerton, okay, whether it's 1800s or 1700s or whatever era, they have, I guess, like now the casts just include Black people, Asian people, white people all together, right? Because this is like the new era and you film about whatever. Um, and I think in this one, I guess I was a little bit shocked to see Henry Golding as like, I think he played her cousin, if I'm getting that right. So it was a little, I don't know if that's part of woke culture or that's just like what everyone's doing right now. But the thing I find interesting and funny is that I think, is it just Hollywood doing this? Because I've definitely watched a lot of Korean dramas and like Korean old ancient dramas, and they're not comedy. Some of them are like rom-com serious, but is it just me, or I feel like it's like Hollywood is trying to be inclusive and have like Asians and Black people be royalty or really wealthy folks that everybody you know, like racism doesn't exist back then, as if it didn't exist in like the 1700s or whatever, where we all know it did. But they include all these people who you know would not have been royalty and whatnot in these Netflix films and just like all these other movies and TV shows and stuff. And I'm just like not really sure how I feel about it, because I don't know why the Asian people, like let's just say Koreans for one. I don't think Chinese or Japanese serious like ancient period dramas includes like any white people or black people being kings or queens or royalty of any sort. So I don't know if this is just a thing that maybe Hollywood is going to stick with and nobody like from Asia is really going to keep up with, or it's just like not going to be popular. But it's I think it's fine, because I don't want to say like that shouldn't be allowed, because like clearly when I was in high school we had to do like Shakespeare plays or talk about Shakespeare, and I would have to play a character from Shakespeare and I'm Asian. That makes no sense, right? And it would be unfair to all of the other kids that aren't white to be not allowed to play any of the roles because you're just role playing. So, in a sense, I guess it's okay, because if you think about it, art can take any form. But I think for like a serious film, if I want to watch like a serious film and learn something from it, I don't think I would want to watch a Korean drama with like a white person in it saying that they were the princess of the time and speaking Korean. I think that would just be that would throw me off and make me not take it seriously. Maybe that's just my 2 cents. I don't know if that makes me like a Karen or a racist or whatever. But yeah, I think for serious films, I don't think I want to do that. Or like if I had kids, I don't think I would want my kids to like, if they wanted to learn about a certain culture, to watch something that includes every race and we're like being inclusive, but it's not true to the period. And I think almost by having people act out what people were actually like in the time makes things more realistic. Like I don't think we should just sweep racism under the rug, and we grow by knowing what was wrong. Like wrong things that happened in the past that were wrong should be something that is taught to future generations. We're not sweeping things under the rug and act like in the 1800s Asians and black people and white people all just got along and we could get married with each other. Like that clearly was not okay and it was not legal. So I think it's okay to have films like this, but definitely also important to just have original films where people can learn from the history as realistic as possible. Of course, this is fiction all around, so it doesn't really matter. Six Len says, how do you feel about the black girl that's playing Ariel in the live action Little Mermaid? I don't know if I've even seen like who's which actress, or I've never like I don't think I've read an article about that, but okay. So Ariel, we know is supposed to be a redhead white girl under the sea. She's a mermaid, which is a not a real person, but half of her, I guess, is real. And technically, Disney didn't create it. Okay, it was created by what's his name? I'm forgetting it now, but it starts with an H. I have like that book, but it was written by someone long, long time ago. But I'm sure the writer meant for her to be either a redhead or at least at bare minimum white, because I think the writer is white. So for that period of time and racism and stuff, I'm sure that's what the person originally intended. But it doesn't matter because then Disney is making these films. I feel like this is like a Charlie's Angels situation where obviously I've only watched Charlie's Angels with like Lucy Liu in it. So it's like Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore, and like Cameron Diaz, right? So two white girls and an Asian. But I didn't know until researching that I guess the original Charlie's Angels, no Asians. Okay. But me watching it thinking that it's the first one, the original one, or whatnot back then, I feel like it doesn't really bother me that they replace like another character from a different race. And then obviously there's been a recent one with Kristen Stewart, I want to say, and they removed the Asian character, so it's now like two white girls and a black girl, or maybe she's mixed or something. I don't know. So I think like I understand, like if they just want to give different roles to people, I think that's that's less of what I was talking about with like these different era stories, you know, because it's just like very unrealistic to have Henry Golding be her cousin, right? It's very off. But Henry Golding is not full Asian, at least. He's I think half white, half Asian. I mean, Six Lens, I do love, like, I love all of what's in Disney, like the princesses and whatnot. Little Mermaid is actually one of my favorites, I would say. Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast, Belle. So those two are probably my faves. And to see like another race, or even if they change, even if it wasn't another race, even if they put an Asian girl in it, or that is another race, or if they change her hair to blonde or change her hair to green or whatever, I think that doesn't really matter, in my opinion. I feel like they just want to do something different. But I feel like it comes to a point where it will get tiresome. Like, just stop making the same film with like every single role, or like later on, they're probably going to come up with like every different gender role. And then you're going to have like, I don't know, a transgender woman playing Little Mermaid. Like, I just think there's no point. For me, it's the same topic. I think I talked about it before for like 007, right? It's like 007 is a man. I don't need to be, if I was an actress, I don't feel like I would feel really special being a 007 female. I feel like the storyline is played and done. If you want to feel special, it's better to have a more original film under your belt and being like the first one. So personally, I feel like there's no need to just like, for, if they want to be inclusive, to just like try and include a black Little Mermaid and then an Asian Little Mermaid and then maybe like a boy Little Mermaid. I just don't see a point in it. Maybe that's just me. I feel like it's the same storyline. And if they want to kind of promote different races out there, give people more original stories. I'm glad that, like, what's that Asian Marvel movie, Shang-Chi, right? I'm glad that they gave the Asian character, I mean, the Asian actor, his own role. Well, it's Asian, so they had to pick one. But it would be, I think, almost a slap in the face, in my opinion, if you were like an Asian actor and you were just given a role that's been played out, like an Asian Batman or something. Like, that's okay, like that's fine. But I think it would be better, maybe in my opinion, but I think if I was an actor, I would want my own role instead of just playing the same one over and over again in order to be more inclusive. Lucy Liu is the new Shazam movie next year. Looks cool. Oh my god, really? I haven't seen her in so long in any movies. Okay, I'm excited. I watched her, I think, after I really only know her from Charlie's Angels. Thought she's amazing in that. And then I think I saw her in Elementary, which is like a TV show, for a little while, and then I just kind of never really heard any other movies from her. Gee, most crypto is still going up. I know, Henry. Hi there, Alan. Thank you. Yes, smash that like button, all of you guys who have not already. I get what you're saying. Six Lens says, cool. I don't know. I think it's fine if you feel completely differently from me. I don't expect people to like understand what I'm saying, or I don't know if I'm like articulating it right. But I'm not saying that I hate all Asian or black actors and actresses who get roles in these periods. I think it's fine. Do it, right? I mean, this is supposed to be not that serious anyways. But I just think it would be really sad if in the future, to be like so inclusive and trying so hard to be woke, if we start destroying history and like being hush hush about it, as if these bad things didn't actually happen in the past, and racism, which is wrong in my opinion, did not happen in the past. I mean, it'd be great to think like, okay, back in the day we were all just born and nobody was a racist, and actually, I think racism is always going to be around, unfortunately, somewhere in the world. You can't have everybody agree on everything. But I'm just saying, you can't have people act like we all just were super happy back in like the 1700s, right? That's not true. Hey, Alan. The original Lucy show was a white woman and Cuban husband. Now the Lucy show is this with us. So I've never watched a full episode. I don't know if I told you guys, but I've never watched a full episode of the Lucy. Is it called the Lucy? It is called the Lucy show, right? Yeah. Lucille Ball. I know her name's Lucille Ball. I forget if her hair is like Red. Is it red? Is she a redhead or a blonde? I forget. But I just know she's hilarious. I've seen clips of her, and my friend bought me a magnet for like one of my birthdays with the, oh, it's called I Love Lucy, right? I Love Lucy one. Is that what you're talking about? It's called I Love Lucy show. Yes, yes. I've actually never watched it, but I just know she's supposed to be hilarious. I should really watch that one day. Watch more black and white films. I don't think the role or I don't Six Lens says I don't mind the role or anything. I just don't want stuff to get pushed down my throat. Like for example, with the Buzz Lightyear movie, they have two girls kissing each other. I'm cool with it. So you just okay, yeah, you don't want anything pushed down your throat. Okay, I think I know what you mean. Just like you don't care what you're seeing as long as you're not forced to be okay with it and forced to do it yourself. Is that what you mean? Because I agree with seeing anything out there, but not being forced to to do it. It's like, I don't know, Jehovah Witness or something. I just don't I'm just against, and I think all people should be, people forcing you to think the way they think. It's like trying to force everybody to buy the same stock. Like we're not going to all buy the same stock. The entire market would tank if we all bought the same stock. But yeah, it hurts me to look at the crypto market right now. I was looking at it during dinner and I was so pissed. Even during my main channel live stream today, if you guys were watching, right? I was like, Polygon might be going up because of this whole Reddit NFT deal or whatever. And I was thinking maybe I should buy next time. And then it went up like another 10%, I think, after I made my stream. So sad. And ApeCoin just continued to climb, refuses to come down. I don't think ApeCoin's ever going to go down to $3 anymore. I still refuse to buy right now at over $5, but shoot. I'm cursed, guys. Actually, Crypto Crush says everyone should just buy sheep. Honestly, I was thinking about Shiba Inu today and how it sounds like it's about time. I feel like Shiba Inu or Dogecoin, one of them should make a move because it's getting kind of boring with all the other regular coins having fun. Fear, hey, but my thing is, does it lead to anything or are you using it to promote things? My thing is, does it lead to anything or are you using it to promote things? Oh, what do you mean? Like, for movies and stuff like that? Like, are they trying to promote things? So here's also how I feel about, I think like the fear that a lot of parents have on banning certain books. I think this is happening in Texas, I want to say. I feel like you should never force anybody to read anything. It's okay to have it on the shelf. That's how I feel. Like Netflix, for example, you have a variety of different TV shows and movies and whatnot. And I think that's good. It's like having the internet, Google. Kids, adults, anyone can search whatever the heck they want on Google. And if my kids in the future go to school, I would want them to have a variety of choices of books to read. Do I want them to all be forced to read every single family situation there is out there? No, not really. I'd rather them learn more on math or science or global warming, you know? That's just how I feel. But it's fine to have a selection in my opinion because I don't think that just because people like, I don't feel like if I grew up watching like Buzz Lightyear or something at the current time, like if I was like 10 right now and I see, okay, like two girls kissing on the screen, that you're automatically like, kids are automatically going to be like, oh my God, I need to do that. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I need to do that. I mean, maybe there's going to be a kid out there that thinks this, but who knows? When I was a kid, I used to play with glue on my hands and then I went like this and saw the strings stick together, if you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I don't think that just because people watch things and see something like once or twice or even 100 times that it can necessarily alter your whole brain. But I'm not a scientist, so not health advice or how to rear your children advice. Entertainment purposes only. Hey Henry, I can even imagine to lose 2 million. Oh, Aditya says, can't even imagine losing 2 million. How are you so stable? With experience, folks, with experience. So, for those of you that have been watching my live streams for a while now, I've talked about how I want to go into details because there are certain parts of my life I will still keep private and for the reasons of others. I have been through so many ups and downs. Not losing 2 million every time or like $1 million every time, but ever since I was a teenager, I would say, yeah, like teenage. In my teenage years, I have experienced coming into a lot of money and then no longer having it or some unfortunate series of events. So, you know, things like that happen to you once. I think the first time that that happened to me, I was crying, thought my life was over. I'm saying coming into a bunch of money, which now when I look at it, I'm like, it's not even that much money because 2 mil seems like a lot more, but it was a lot less than 2 million. And I came into it, no longer had it anymore. And I was so upset about the loss of, oh no, I wasn't a teenager at that time anymore. But I was so upset with like not having money anymore at that point in time, like a long, long time ago, because I'm 420, that I was lying in bed for, I want to say more than a day. It doesn't sound that bad, but I literally thought I was going to die. So the first time is always the hardest with money loss, with heartbreak. And then the second time is just easier. And then it happened to me the next time, a totally different situation happened to me, but same thing, like the same story, coming into money, no longer having it. Uh, the next time that it happened, it was a larger amount. But because I've had the first previous experience of like thinking I was going to die and not dying, lying in bed, not answering calls, not talking to anybody, just like locking myself in my room, uh the first time. The second time, I still cried. I was still very upset. I thought my life was over, and then you get over it. So I think now I'm just so chill. I didn't cry. I didn't ever cry about losing $2 million. Unrealized losses. Um did I have multiple nights of WTF is wrong with me and questioning why I'm so dumb, why didn't I do this? Being angry with myself, yes, that still happened multiple times. And I think if Dogecoin never goes back up to like 75 cents, this is going to be it's going to be a story I'll tell my grandkids or something. And this is going to be something I think I'll always look back at and be like, what is wrong with you? Why did you let that golden moment, the lotto ticket moment slip away out of your hands? I think that's how I feel about it now, but aside from that, I feel nothing. Like I kid you guys not, I really don't care. If Dogecoin goes to like even 60 cents tomorrow, I'll be like pretty happy, but it's not going to change my life. It's not going to because I thoroughly understand that like money will only make you feel good for a period of time. You have to train yourself to be like as happy as possible even when you don't have money. Otherwise, whether you have it or don't have it and come into it, lose it, it's all gonna make you a pretty tragic person. Maybe a demon called Rahukatu is on you. I think okay. I don't believe in palmists, Aditya. I know like my mom believes in it. She's had her palms read way too many times. I don't think it did her any good. I refuse. I've had a non-professional check my hand just because she's not a professional. I don't believe in professionals, but I like it when people like study it for like they have their own job. They make their own money. So I think this lady like her husband's a scientist and she's an artist, but she likes like reading palms and faces for the heck of it. I think I told you guys this in the past, and I let her read my palm like a few years back. And she said I was going to be like a hard worker and that I could marry to get wealthy, but I'll probably most likely make it myself. And I like the reading, and I'm like, cool, I'll stick with that, but I'm not going to let it lead my life. Six Len says, money will come and go. That's just life. You will be back. Trust me, the biggest amount I ever gained was the 15K. And when I had that money, I didn't understand how to use it and blew it, but I learned. I'm glad that you learned. Like the two girls kissing each other scene, does it lead to a important plot in the movie, or are you just doing it because you are promoting You don't need to. Yes, so six lens. Okay, I finally get what you're saying. And I think 1000% a ton of these TV shows and movies, is it called tokenism? I think it's called tokenism, where you just literally put in like a certain race, like a certain character into like a group just to like make it okay or like acceptable. So I know companies do this all the time, and I don't know. I'm definitely, it's a fine line. It's a tricky question because am I unhappy if all companies out there, like let's say, only hired white people or only hire black people, or there are companies who only hire Asians, and the job could obviously be done even if you weren't Asian or weren't black or weren't white? I think that would piss me off, right? I'll be like, okay, that's really unfair that you're not providing jobs, or maybe you don't want to allow people to step into your restaurant if you are of a certain color. Like that is what I think is wrong. But if we are like, if you if somebody is, let's say, clearly a better engineer, right? Let's say you have an engineering company and you don't want to get in trouble. It's between me and maybe like a white girl, and this, let's say, this company is purposely hiring me just because I'm Asian, and they need to have some, like some race in there, some color in there in the field of white snow or whatever. I would be pretty offended by that. I mean, it'd be cool to have a job, but I would feel sorry for the person who lost the job when they were way more qualified. Like if they graduated from Harvard and I graduated from high school, I think that would be extremely unfair. But like that stuff happens. It happens, unfortunately, because companies just, they don't want to get in trouble in case there's not enough diversity. So I don't really like I call that fake diversity in my opinion, and it always reminds me of like South Park, because I remember like when I was 10 I watched some South Park episode, and it talked about how if kids who are innocent and kids who aren't racist, they will look at pictures where adults are clearly like, oh my god, that's racist, but kids wouldn't really pick that up because they just view everybody as like humans. Like the ultimate anti-racism is if you just like, you never really feel like, if ever, but that's like obviously not going to happen. But if everybody was so anti-racist, we would all never even say the word racist because we wouldn't know what it is, because we're so inclusive that we look at each other and we're like, that's my sister, that's my brother. And you wouldn't really like be put off by hiring someone, or I don't know, the feeling like someone is more likely to steal from you than not. Lucy, I would suggest listening to Meg Myers and her song Numb. I like the song Numb. I didn't know it's from Meg Myers. Sometimes, sorry guys, I listen to songs, but I think I have that song like in my phone. Um is it like, sometimes I just want to, like, I'm happy but I don't want to, wait. I'm sad but I don't want to die. Kind of, is that the lyrics? I think I have. I like that song. I didn't know it was from, that's her name, but yeah, I can connect with that song very deeply. Here's the issue with Doge: if you are running a miner, then you can make anything. Barely, now that's down. The problem is that it continues to be created from nothing. It's forever inflationary, Henry says. Yes, Dogecoin is at its root forever inflationary. But then I think the thing about it is also, we have to keep in mind, it does become less and less inflationary throughout time, because it's always going to be 5%. So 5% of, let's say, 100 Dogecoins is like 5 Dogecoins, right? So simple math. As Dogecoin grows, but its inflation rate stays at 5%. Once we have, let's say, even from 100, that's 5 Dogecoins, right? If you go to 1,000 Dogecoins, that's 0.5 Dogecoins. So you're just going to have less and less Dogecoins increase, like as a ratio to how many Dogecoins is out there, in a sense. Or wait, no, sorry, I said that wrong. But 1,000 Dogecoins, 100 Dogecoins is 5. 1,000 would be, oh wait, never mind, that's 50. So it's more. It's more, but to the ratio it's less. Does that make sense? Wait. Okay, it's been. I swear I know what I'm saying in my head, but it's all not coming out right. Yeah, 5% inflation throughout time as it grows. No, that's correct. There's going to be less and less Dogecoins because it is capped at 5. Yes. I think I'm saying that right. 50. Exactly. Okay, I can't do math right now. I can't do that, but I swear I had it correctly before. Wait, is it at 5%? I like Hold on, hold on. No, 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 no. I talked about this in the past. I just escaped my brain. Hold on. Dogecoin inflation rate. Can't. Hold on, hold on. Oh, sorry. Okay, no. Why am I saying 5%? No. Okay, no, I did say it right, but I shouldn't be 5%. Okay, 5 billion Dogecoins are created every single year, and that's the cap. So okay, there. Now it's gonna make more sense. So 5 billion Dogecoins are created every single year, but as there's more Dogecoins created every year, and there's more and more Dogecoins, the ratio between the Dogecoins versus the 5 billion is going to be greater and greater, which makes the inflation rate come down. Oh, phew. Okay, I'm glad I did that. I don't know why I said 5%. It's 5 billion. So as opposed to Bitcoin's infinite 21 million coins, Jesus, you would think that me having all this Dogecoin and talking about it for like 2 years that I would memorize this. But I didn't. 5 billion new Doge are created every year. And the current supply as of April 4th, 2022 is about 132 billion Dogecoins. Okay, so yes. That means our inflation rate by percentage comes down every single year. So that is a heck of a lot better. And even if our inflation forever stayed at like 1% or 2%, that's a heck of a lot better than the US dollar still. But we're not at a certain percentage rate. We're stuck at always 5 billion. So as Dogecoin, as there's eventually going to be, 150 billion Dogecoins or 180 billion Dogecoins or 1 trillion Dogecoins, the 5 billion produced every single year is just going to matter less and less. The inflation rate is less and less. Okay, glad we got that out of the way. Wait, doesn't Dogecoin get burned off after a while? I've never heard of Dogecoin being burned off after a while. I don't know how it's burned or who's burning it, but let me know, guys, in the comment section below if somebody out there is burning their Dogecoins for a specific reason. So that's what's important to know, is that Dogecoin's inflation rate goes down every single year. Let's hope I remember that for the next stream if anyone asks again. Racism is taught into the home. Six Lens says, kids don't do what you say, they do what you do. So you don't have to say it, just by actions from parents they learn. Yes, but I will say, I believe, and from a lot of my friends and people that I meet, I think the older generations are, and I'm nothing against older people, I feel like it's getting better. Because I think the people that I meet, the younger they are, the less racist they are, in my opinion, from what I've seen. Because I'm friends with like people of different ages, and I can see that there's definitely more racism, not like intense racism, but just like slight racism. And oh my god, my eyelash. Okay, hold on. Sorry. I feel like the racism has definitely come down from how people who might be 70, 80, 90 years old right now versus somebody who's like 30s to 20s versus someone who's like 10 or 13 years old. There's just less racism, I think, when you're younger. Not saying that every single child is anti-racist. That would be a perfect world. The older generation is dying off, Six Lens says. Yes, they'll be gone eventually, and so will all of us in this stream. So I really appreciate you guys spending time, your precious time on here. Lucy was off today and sat on my porch with my cats, Alan says. Oh, I would have loved that. I don't have any animals, but I would love to have some cats and dogs, even though I don't think that would work out really well in a household, but I want them both. I think cats are very independent beings, and dogs are very needy, but I like both. I really do. Okay, to the last topic, and then I'm gonna go and do my crunches and also watch more Grey's Anatomy or maybe another movie. Okay, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. So I didn't even know that they were still together, but I knew that they got back together. But now that they're married, I guess the thing I want to talk about here is they got married in Vegas. So congratulations to them. They were together, I think, like 20 years ago, right? So she's like 52 years old right now, okay? So they were together 20 years ago. So I would say, like, in her 30s, she was first with, hi there, NBA. She was first with Ben Affleck, but then I guess they just dated, I want to say, and then they broke it off. But then Ben Affleck went and married Jennifer Garner, who played like his love interest in Daredevil, which didn't end up being such a great popular film or anything. It was kind of a fail. But he married Jennifer Garner, the actress, and they had children. And then they got a divorce. And then he went back to Jennifer Lopez and got married 20 years later. So I don't know. I shouldn't feel so strongly about this, but I do. And I look at this and I'm just like, I wonder what Jennifer Garner is thinking. I mean, I hope for her that she just moved on and doesn't care anymore. But I think if that were me and like I married someone who I knew, because this is public information, dated this other woman and didn't get married, but then got married to me. And then afterwards, we get a divorce after having kids, and then he goes back to her, the previous girlfriend. I would really question not even the legitimacy. I feel like the guy could have still loved me for being married and having kids, and I would like to believe that. But I think I would question, was I the person you were with because you couldn't have the one you actually wanted? Like I think I would probably think that for the rest of my life. That's why I feel like this relationship. I mean, happy for them because they were together in the beginning, but it's just very. It just makes me think about all the possible relationships out there where you're with somebody, and even if you don't get married and divorce and have kids, it's like if you're with someone and then you date someone else, but then you leave that someone else and you go back to that someone. Does that mean that that person that you originally were with during the time you didn't actually love nearly as much as that other person? Right? Because I can't imagine. I mean, I'll ask you guys what you think, okay? Let's do a little poll over here. Um, do you think Ben loved JLO more the whole time? So, or not more, most. That's how to put it. So I'm just too lazy to type in the if this person, whatever, but that type of scenario. Okay. Do you think Ben Affleck loved JLo the whole time? Like if you saw this happening in front of your eyes, right? Like if one of your friends got left their current boyfriend girlfriend and then dated someone else but then jumped back to the original one, do you think that that original one was the one that they loved the entire time and the most or more, whatever you want to say? But for me, I think 100% yes. Like I would be so pissed. I would be so pissed. I mean, I would figure out a way to be zen and chill in the end, but I would be so angry if somebody like dated me or got married to me and then jumped back to their original partner. Because I think you should really leave your original partner off of like a really good reason. Like I hate them or they cheated or we're just like fundamentally never going to be able to connect on certain levels and we're just not meant to be. Like I think this is like a good lesson for all people who jump into relationships with someone who just broke up with someone. Like you need to know that that someone broke up with that previous boyfriend or girlfriend or divorce for a really solid reason, not just like a silly fight and like okay later on they'll get over it. Six Len says my answer is controversial. Okay, I want to hear it. I want a German Shepherd. I don't. Do I know what a German Shepherd looks like? I feel like I do, but let me search. German Shepherd. We talk about all types of weird stuff on my channel. I love it. I love you guys. Thank you for being here with me. German Shepherd. Okay, okay. I always call it, okay, these dogs, I always feel like they're cop dogs, but they're not cop dogs, right? Because they have other dogs. Like I think there's another kind that usually cops have. But these just look like the kind that cops use. Altasian wolf dog, Berger Element, Deutscher Schäferhund. Other names, other names of a German Shepherd, in case anybody else doesn't know dog breeds. I'm very bad at dog breeds, aside from Shiba Inu, knowing what that looks like, and a bulldog. I'm pretty terrible at like literally everything else. Oh, and huskies are easy for me to memorize. Chihuahuas, even though I don't like them. Canine. Okay, thanks, Diamond Hand 69. Yes, canine. What does a canine look like? But sometimes I feel like German Shepherds' pointy ears look like maybe the canines, because I always get them confused with the cop dogs. Canine dog. Okay, what do they look like? See? Okay, tell me that these don't look. Oh, they see. Okay, they do call it police dog. So tell me that these don't look similar, because they totally look similar. And it's a police dog. Doesn't that totally kind of look, kind of, not like a lot, but the ears kind of look like that German Shepherd? German Shepherds are freaking awesome, Alan says. You're overthinking it. At the end of the day, it's about moment and who makes us happy in the moment, Henry says. Love can grow or it can die. It's about maintenance. What you disregard will not survive. Love is exactly the same. I do believe in that what you disregard will not survive. So kind of like a family or a relationship is like a plant. If you disregard it, you don't water it, you don't give it sun, you don't nurture it, then it's going to die. So I do believe in that. And also yourself. You're going to die if you don't nurture yourself and feed yourself and water yourself at the quite literal sense. Alan says, Lucy is worried about lashes. I'm trying to figure out the degreaser to use on my hands. Wait, why do you need degreaser? Do you have something sticky on your hands? Tip for anybody who has sticky and got themselves in sticky situations. Baby oil. So good. Or just like oil. I have this coconut oil, like a little bottle that literally says I could use it for cleansing my face, using it on my hair to make it more like smooth, or a facial like cleanser, because like or like makeup remover, because like you see all this makeup I have on. I could literally use coconut oil, the liquid form, and then just put it all over my face, and all my stupid makeup will come right off, and then I just wash it with water, but then it's all oily, so I have to do a face wash. But it's amazing. Like my SO bought this orange, I think it's a degreaser. I don't know what the heck it is, but like it helps you remove sticky stuff. I should make that as one of my tips thing. My how-to tips playlist on my main channel. Okay, I'll remember to do that. But he bought this thing. I think it's called Goo Gone or whatever. It gets rid of sticky stuff. So like, let's say you have like, you bought a new iPad, or UK wouldn't be on iPads, but let's say you bought some type of a tech thing, and then there was like a sticker on it. Then you peel off that sticker and it's all sticky on your screen and it's nasty. Instead of buying Goo Gone or wiping it with soap, which won't work, you could just get baby oil. Really, any type of oil, like olive oil works, baby oil, coconut oil. Put it on a tissue, just wipe it. Beautiful. But depends on what material. You can't really, certain material you can't, but like obviously with an iPad, or like I've done it on mirrors, done it on glass, really helps. Oh, don't work on cars, LOL. Okay. Wait. Henry DH69, we on same wavelength, LOL. I have cop friends and clients, LOL. Wait, what? We on same wavelength? You have cop friends and clients. Yes, you are right. Most canine are German Shepherds. Oh, okay. Because they call it police dog. Police dog. Oh, it says lifespan. German Shepherd, 9 to 13 years. Doberman, 10 to 13. Rottweiler, 8 to 12 years under police dog. Oh, I thought you said it's called canine. So they are mostly German Shepherds. Aha, I was right. Okay. Anyways, back to, okay, wait. So you guys, yay! I'm glad that you guys agree with me. It's okay. I don't always have to be right. I just like to be right. But I'm glad that the majority thinks the way that I do, that he probably, and again, we don't know what's in Ben Affleck's head unless you're Ben Affleck. But I think majority of us agree that we think he probably loved her or liked her the most, just at least a tad bit more than probably anybody else he dated between her and then to coming back to her. I saw something about Anna Dumraz, I don't know how to pronounce her name. So I saw this like random, like, I don't know, celebrity gossip stuff about Anna and Ben. And I think she said like she had to move or something because people were threatening her. Okay. Oh, so I guess they were together. What the heck? I did not know this. So Anna de Armas, I think that's her name. She's so beautiful. She's the lady that was like had a very short scene in the most recent James Bond movie. I actually felt like her role was very like pointless. Like if you just think about the movie, the James Bond movie, and you like cut out her entire role or made it like extremely short, or even if it didn't happen at all, I don't see how that would change, like alter the entire movie. I felt like they just needed to put in like a very beautiful woman. I'm glad they did. But I just felt like her character, they didn't give her much to do. Hi there, Chill. Welcome to the stream. I am dreading going to stupid midnight school rally for the sports programs. Aw. Okay, wait. So hold on. Let me see. I guess they were dating at one point. I did not know this. Anna de Armas recounts ordeal with Ben Affleck and reasons for breakup. It was horrible. The actress wanted to get away from Hollywood. This is what she looks like, by the way, in case you guys don't know who the heck I'm talking about. Hold on. Hold on. I wish I could find a 007 picture, but I'm not seeing her 007 pic. I'm sure you guys. Ooh, Dogecoin just got an alert from WEBULL that Dogecoin is up to 6.6 cents, I think. I'm not excited. I'm like, get to 10 cents and higher, then I'll slightly be excited. Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, so this is what she looks like. She is very, very beautiful, and she's in 007, and she is also in the newest Gray Men movie on Netflix that's coming out July 22nd with Ryan Gosling, whom I love and I'm so excited for. Okay, so that's her. Let me read about this. I didn't know that they were together. Sorry, just when you read this much crypto and stock news and Elon Musk news, it's hard to keep up with all the celebrities. Hold on. So it says Ana de Armas has exploded as a Spanish-Cuban actress. Oh, I didn't know she was Spanish-Cuban. Spanish-Cuban actress has spoken out about the ordeal she went through while she was with Ben Affleck's partner. Oh, sorry, when she was Ben Affleck's partner. A situation that drove her not to depression, but to an harrowing existence. It was horrible, said De Armas, who says that the constant harassment by Hollywood cameras and paparazzi took its toll. She further elaborated on this issue. It was one of the reasons that made me leave. It was horrible. It started to get a bit too much. There's no escape there. There's no way out. The film industry took a heavy toll on her. It was destructive, and there was a lot of pressure in Los Angeles. It's a city that keeps you anxious. You always feel like you're missing something that's not there. Sometimes I like living in the United States, but sometimes I miss Europe, she said. It was the place for me, and she laid down the definitive verdict on the matter. Going through the breakup with Ben confirmed what I thought. This was not the place for me. Ooh, she really doesn't sound like she likes America too much. Ana de Armas is living her new life settled in New York. Okay, so maybe it was just LA. And in a relationship with Tinder executive Paul Bukadakis. Bukadakis? Oh, nice. Did not know this. Sometimes I feel like I'm not part of the Cuban artist community, and then I was in Spain and I felt like I'm not part of the community there, and then I'm here and I feel like I'm still not there. I barely know anyone, she reflected. Oof. She sounds like she should join the Doge community. And hopefully she can feel like she belongs later on. The crypto community, I mean, say what you will about it, but I think the thing about crypto and not like with a certain place is that you could be anywhere in the world and you can just like the coin or like the stock or like the dog. Uh wait, all right, so 50-50 now. Wow, this has gone very everyone has very different opinions now of old and new lovers. Um but here's how I feel, okay? I just think do whatever you want. Hopefully you did love your person before going back to the OG person that you were with. Like if you were with person A and then you jumped to person B, but then you left person B to go to person A, I think even though I would hate to be person B, I think as long as you loved as much as you could in the moment, it's less sad. Always love as much as you can in the moment and give all your love to that person. But still, I would not want to be person B because I don't think I would ever even allow myself to get in a situation where I am person B because I would feel like I would have done my DD to ask and question the guy and be like, well, why did you break up with this one? Why did you break up with that one? And if at any point I feel like the girl's coming back or he wants to go back to that girl, peace. I like living in the middle of nowhere, Alan says. Henry Beetle Jr., it would be, but it ends in massive water balloon fights. Ooh, that sounds like so much fun. So it's like WTF to wear. Don't wear white. But I feel like if you're gonna have like if you know you're gonna get wet, you might as well wear a bikini underneath. And so who cares? You can wear whatever you want. Well, sounds fun, chill chinchillity. It's still warm, Henry says. He was with person B for over a decade, Six Lens says. Yeah, so you're talking about Ben Affleck, right? Yeah. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner had a big love, a marriage with kids and everything. So again, I'm not saying that I know anything, that I know he didn't love Jennifer Garner as much for sure. Everyone's different. Again, you have to be in his head. But for me, and I think the other 50% of you that are saying no or yes, or wait, hold on. You forget my question. Do you think, oh, yes. Do you think Ben loved JLO most the whole time? It's a 50-50 on yes and no. So I think if you say yes, most of you guys do think that you can't love the second person as much. But again, we're all different. For me, I would just be very sad about it if I was person B. But let's hope for the best that he actually loved. And who knows? That's like in someone's head. And the craziest thing about love is that even if Ben Affleck says he loved Jennifer Garner so much and that was his whole heart when he was with her, and it was more than JLo back then, even if he said that, it's really up to Jennifer Garner or person B in this situation, if you want to believe it, to say that you believe them and in your heart believe them, because anyone can say anything and only really that person in their heart knows if it's true. That's that. Hi there, Birdista. Purple Power works too. Gone. It works with citrus. Goo Gone. It works with citrus acid, Henry says. Never tried that. Hold on. You gotta be a real dog person to handle them German Shepherds. Oh, okay. I don't know anyone with a German Shepherd, so maybe I don't know anybody who's a real dog person. Just kidding. I have best friends who love dogs. Actually, one of my friends is now a dog trainer, so I'm definitely gonna learn a thing or two about a dog I don't have. Love second person happiness. Is this live? Yes, the Zuni. This is live. I'm gonna go soon though. If you want to say something, say it now or forever hold your peace. Okay, oh no, 59% says yes then. Okay. Yeah. I think we're still like I think majority of the people though would agree that JLo was probably the one for him. And I mean it's a lovely story. I'm not saying this is not good. I think it's very cute that they loved in their 30s, or at least JLo was 30s then, and in their 50s, they can find love once again. Just come back to each other. it was probably true all along. I feel like you know, like when you're happiest with that person, and like at least I'm just using myself as an example. The person I am with now does make me happier than any of my previous partners, dates, any of that. So, and if that wasn't true, and if I didn't feel that way, and I felt like somebody in the past made me happier, then this relationship would have to be over. And again, you live your own lives, you have to make your own decisions. But I hope whoever you're with now is not a backup or replacement or just somebody to fill the loneliness, and isn't actually someone who makes you the happiest out of everyone you've been with. And even if they do make you the happiest, but you're like thinking what else could be out there constantly, and you think that you could for sure find someone better than what you have now, also I would just peace out. Which brings me back to Grey's Anatomy. George O'Malley, who was, I liked him. Now I don't like him anymore. And I'm gonna ruin it for you guys because it's such a old show. I don't care. It's your fault for not watching it. But basically, in Grey's Anatomy, this character named O'Malley, he got married after a traumatic experience with like a family member dying, and then everything was just kind of spinning, and then he decided to get married to this girl who he was sleeping with. But they got married, and then she always had a feeling that his best friend, this really hot model girl, liked him. So she kept saying that to him, and he was like, no, 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 like there's no way she would like me because it's her, like she's so hot, kind of thing. And then he went and like confronted, well, not confronted, he went to the hot friend, the model girl, who's also a coworker and a best friend, and he was like, well, my wife thinks that like you like me, that's why you don't like her, that's why you're like, you know, constantly making fun of her. And then basically the hot girl admitted to him like, okay, I do like you. So once he realized that the model girl, the hot girl likes him, his best friend likes him, he like fully was ready to leave his wife. That is the type of man or partner you should not be with, in my opinion. Like if somebody was like, if someone you are with, I think, is willing to leave you at any given point, if somebody really hot out there that they think they can't get is willing to be with them or sleep with them or whatever, that would be very sad. And I think the person you're with could easily fly away just at any given point. And I mean, I know like certain couples do passes, like, oh, if like a certain celebrity wanted you, then you can, you know, give a free pass and you can sleep with them and whatever. I've heard about that. I don't know anyone personally who did that. But apparently you can have a free pass if both of you agree on if you could score a celebrity. But I feel like if you are ready to just like peace out of relationship, if you could have someone that you think is unattainable, then you shouldn't be with the person that you're with. Okay, fine. I'll get one more beer, Ellen says. I can't even get the bare minimum, LOL, 6 Len says. I had more jobs than relationships. Would I want more jobs or more relationships? I think I would rather want more jobs. That is more fun, and it makes more money and more experiences and builds character. I think I would rather have more jobs than relationships, and I have had more jobs than relationships in my life. I'm talking serious relationships, not like just getting to know someone, a date over coffee or something, because I've had more of those than jobs. Come on, Lucy, who is your free pass? I don't have any free passes, Bardistas. I've met so few celebrities in my life, like so little. Like I'm talking like actually meeting, like super close, to the point where I can actually say a couple words or like have a conversation. Way under 10 celebrities. Yeah. JLO is got for being over 50. JLO is got. I think you mean hot. Yes. JLO is hot for being over 50. I wouldn't go back to her if I was Ben. Where's Olivia Rodrigo? What? So you're saying she is hot, but you wouldn't go back to her if you were Ben. What? I think, wait, hold on. Hey, Echo, How old is Ben Affleck? Because I think he's younger.
Ben Affleck is 49 years old.
Okay, so there's like only a 3 years difference between them. He is 49, she is 52. So it's only 3 years. But they look really, really good together. Honestly, for like 50 and almost 50, that's goals. Mostly just JLO, I think, because she really doesn't look like she's in her 50s. I know people who are like 35 and look like they're older than her. So she's really, whatever she's eating, whatever she's doing, and good products she's using for her face or facials or whatever, it clearly is working. 7-to-1 ratio, 6 lens says. Don't worry. I think, oh, never mind. I was going to be like, most people I know have had more jobs and relationships, but it's actually probably the other way around. More relationships than jobs. But I'm like you. I had more jobs than relationships, like serious relationships. J James says JLo is cute, but maybe not everyone can love forever. What? What do you mean? Okay, do you mean like not everyone can love someone forever? I think the forever part, like till death do us part, in sickness and in health is much easier said than done, if that's what you mean. I do agree with that. Like, because I think everyone's saying, like, everyone who says in sickness and in health forever and ever, like, they don't really know what they're signing up for. Because how could you? You don't know who you're going to be, what you're going to be like, because like everybody changes throughout time. Even characters from fake fictional television shows like Grey's Anatomy change. Like, I thought I liked George in the beginning because he seemed so sweet and nice. And then he became a cheater. So even fictional characters can change. Kind of similar, like life imitates art, art imitates life. I feel like it is really similar to real life, whereas people change all the time. And there could be people you think you know in real life, and you don't know their deepest, darkest secrets. That could shock you. So I think forever is a hard term to say. And I like to think forever for all of my relationships, but I also warn everyone I've ever been in a relationship with that if it's good, it's good. I want forever, but the moment that they don't want to be with me anymore, if I don't want to be with them, we should peace, because peace out is what I mean. We should peace because I think there's nothing worse than lying to yourself and being in a relationship you don't want to be in, or especially if you're like yearning for someone else or the possibility of somebody else. Compare her to but yeah, I like Olivia Rodrigo. But isn't she like, could be his daughter? Listen to Church's song forever, Alan says. Not true. When it's real, it's real. What they meant to say, it's not everyone finds genuine love. That's really the issue, Henry says. And I think it's also that not a lot of people know what they want, but a lot of people don't want to be alone. Not a lot of people want to be lonely. So that's why we have a lot of like unfair relationships where like one partner actually wants something real and the other one's just like, yeah, I'll go along for the ride. Did someone say Bitcoin is pumping? Oh my God. Is it over 25K? Because I'll be excited if it's over 25K. Hold on. Okay, no, it's 22,230. 22,230 on my Webull. Dogecoin 6.6 cents. Come on, Dogecoin. It's only up 5%. It's not even doing better than Bitcoin. Shiba Inu 11.35, also just up a little under 6%. ApeCoin though, wow, I can't swear on these live streams, but no, I'll be swearing off the live stream. 5.3 cents, $5.32. Jesus Christ. Ethereum Classic still killing it at $21.42. Even Bitcoin Cash, like when did this happen? Over $100 now, $116. Litecoin is closer to the 2020 levels when I bought and was swing trading it. It's like $58. Polygon-matic. Oh my God. I'm so pissed. It's up 17%. It's at 88 cents. I literally, I should have bought it. I asked you guys what I should buy on the next dip. I think most people on Twitter voted that I should get Polygon. Yeah. I asked this on my Twitter. If you're not following me, it's Living with Luci. That's my Twitter page. But I asked you guys between ApeCoin, Crow, and Polygon. But I meant the next dip, which clearly isn't happening. And you guys said Polygon, and now it's up. Dogelon Mars, here we come. Mr. Moore says, I hope so. You already knew about Poly. Yes. I mean, I thought that there's potential, but I wanted to wait for the next dip. That just goes to show you're never gonna know, and that is why, guys, it gives me hope to my Doge fam. Nobody will know when this goes to the moon because most people, hey, it's like I can pretend this is my head. I just hold it here. Most people will not know when this goes to the moon. So most people will not become multi-millionaire billionaires off of Dogecoin, but somebody will. And I hope that's one of you and me as well. Would you, okay, by the way, I'm going to go, guys. I didn't realize I talked to you guys for an hour and 20 minutes. I have to go do my crunches and watch another movie, hopefully better than Persuasion. But Netflix is coming out with more movies that I'm excited about. So compare her to, oh yeah, maybe I'm gonna watch Wanted with Angelina Jolie. Compare her to when she was first came out now. Six Lens says, oh, you mean like JLO? Okay, well, obviously I could see she was more youthful in her 20s and 30s versus now. But face-wise, like, especially this picture is kind of blurry because I'm zooming it. Honestly, not a huge difference from her 30s. Mr. Amor, okay, last one. I'm gonna go. Would you or how long wait until your partner dies? Would you date again? Oh my god, Mr. Amor. It's funny because I actually talked about this with every single person I've dated. That if I die, I'm like, oh, I usually say if I die, I just tell them, like let them off the hook. I'm like, if I die, you can go and find someone else after mourning me. Preferably at least 1 month, but I'm like, you can go look for someone after 1 month. But I don't think, like, I think I would be offended as a ghost if somebody, like, after I died, found someone else within the same 4 weeks. But if somebody died and I was alone, I don't think I would pull myself together for like a while. I like to think that I could pull myself together because I think like that if the person really loved me, they would want me to be happy. So I'll try my best to be happy. But I don't think I could or I would want to find anyone else for more than 3 months minimum, maybe a year, maybe even longer, maybe ever, honestly. Maybe I'll never want to find anyone anymore and just kind of like let it happen. Like if it's unstoppable, I don't really believe in the go to a bar and magically meet your soulmate easily. I'm sure it happens to some lucky folks, or go to a library or wherever, or on the street, you meet over like walking your dogs. I think it happens to some, but not most. And that's why Tinder exists and Bumble and all these other apps. So I don't think I'm going to meet someone like walking on the street in the future, even if like my partner dies. But I don't think I think I wouldn't like go out to look like on Tinder or a social media app or anything like that. Um, maybe ever, but at least 3 months or a year. How long did Hunter Biden wait to sleep with his, oh my God, dead brother's wife? Henry, that sounded like a joke, except I think that actually happened because I swear I saw that on the news. I think it was on Fox News. I can't believe these news out there. Like, it just makes me do like, I have a little shocker moment when I have to reread it to be like, is that right? Is that actual news or a soap opera? Because it sounds like a soap opera. But wild. Oh my God. This is like the question. Oh, and I'm not going to talk about this, but yeah, I read the news on Ricky Martin too. This is like the question of the night, Mr. Amor said. Near, Polygon, and Bitcoin in that order, and the most allocation in that order. Near. I wish I could talk to you uncensored and not worry about cursing, Alan says. One day, guys, one day. I mean, I think I'm just being a chicken about it, and I like to keep it PG in case there's anybody like, that doesn't like swearing, or maybe like kids who are using their parents' accounts to watch this. I try to not swear for many reasons, but I heard, and I think I can do this because I've seen other live streamers do it, that they they do live streams, and like because mine are so long, like an hour, like if I really said the F word right now, I don't think I would even be caught or flagged, to be honest. I've seen tons of people do it. But yeah, it's okay. I have other ways of saying it. Fudgesicles. How is not on prison, Ellen says. Anyways, guys, yes, it is good to see new members. Thanks, Mr. Moore. All of you guys in the stream, thank you for being here. It was super fun. Again, if you're new here, I'm here every single week, not every single day, but subscribe, ring that notification bell to know whenever these live streams and other videos on other playlists here on the second channel come out. Smash that like button on the way out, and I will see you guys real. Wait, Bardisa says my ex was with someone 6 days after we split. Oh, I'm not gonna say that word out loud, but it's 3 letters. Anyways, take care, guys. See you soon. Probably main channel tomorrow. And yeah, it was fun. Thank you.